So in all these videos, I'm going to say the word, and then I'm going to wait about 3 seconds, and this is just in case parents are going through them with your students, or students are going through them by themselves and they want to remember how to say the word. Then we'll talk about the meaning of each word later. Priority. Elaborate. Mature. Safe. Growth mindset. Mandatory. Specific. Clarify. Confidence. Academic. Method. Proactive. Optional. Significant. Honest. Growth. Graduation. Respect. Grit. Engaged. Efficient. Perseverance. Empathy. Concise. And now I'm going to go through and I'm going to use each of these words in a sentence, and I'm going to explain the words' meanings. Concise is what I'm trying to be right now. I'm trying to be concise, which is getting everything across by using very few words. Okay, I'm not trying to go on and on. So I'm trying to be concise. Empathy is when we feel someone else's feelings. We need to show empathy for each other in 5th grade and understand that when someone else is sad, that we can feel what they're feeling as well, or we can put ourselves in their shoes. That's empathy. Perseverance. That means keep doing something, persevering with it, and not giving up. So 5th graders should show perseverance, because in life they're going to need to try really hard and never give up. Efficient. That means getting something done with very little amount of energy. So if you can go through and name all these words, you're being very efficient. If it takes you minutes and minutes and minutes and you have to go look a word up, it's not being very efficient for our time. Engaged. One of our Griffith Way beliefs. Be engaged. That means doing the activity we're doing. So if you're engaged on a test, that means paying attention to the test. If you're engaged during a reading lesson, it means you're reading and you're trying to understand and comprehend the text we're reading. Grit. For the last couple of years, we've been saying grit, growth, graduation. Grit is showing determination and not giving up with something. Something's hard. If you have grit, you keep going with it. Respect. Be respectful. Showing respect doesn't mean you always have to agree with the other person, but if you're respectful, you'll listen to them. If you're being respectful to your teachers, you're going to follow their directions. That's showing respect. Graduation. At the end of the year, we're going to have a graduation ceremony to celebrate moving on from 5th grade to 6th grade. Graduation is moving from one stage of life to another. This is what we hope to be showing a lot of growth. I'm going to draw a wonderful looking small graph of growth, which shows someone making a lot of progress. They're really growing. Okay, we don't necessarily mean how tall you're going to get. That might change in 5th grade, but definitely you should be showing growth. You should be, every month you should know more than you did the last month, And I think with exponents and so on, we're already getting there. We're showing growth. Be honest is one of our Griffith Way expectations. That means telling the truth. Optional. Sometimes things we do are optional. What you do at recess is usually optional. If you want to play foursquare or tetherball, you have that freedom to go make that choice. It's an option. Significant. Something that's very important is significant. Usually your birthday is pretty significant. Okay, and when we read texts, we're looking for significant details, things that really mean something. Proactive means getting things done without having to be told to. Another word for being proactive is showing initiative. That means students in 5th grade don't have to wait once they know that the teacher says get out your notebook. Probably they're also getting out their pencil as well because they're being proactive and doing things without the teacher having to tell them to do. Method. It's the way or manner in which you do something. One method a teacher might have to encourage you to do something is by giving class dojo points. Another method might be giving Griffith Way tickets. Those are methods. Academic. So when we come to school, sometimes we have time that is not academic, like Grizzly din time, or lunch, or recess. But usually when we're learning something, it's an academic time. And usually at school, academics are way more important than non-academic activities like recess. This year we hope that you build confidence. That's believing in yourself. Clarify. It literally means to make clear. So if we clarify something, you say, excuse me, Mr. Marsh, or excuse me, Mr. Polkowski, can you clarify for me, are we supposed to move the numbers around, or what place value is that? You're trying to clarify. Mandatory is the opposite of optional. It means something has to happen. Okay? Actually, going to school in Nevada is mandatory. You're required to go to public school or required to go to homeschool. So school is mandatory. It's something that must happen. Specific. So when we write, we want to use very specific details. We don't want to just talk about they. They were angry. Well, who? The boys were angry. That's more specific. You could get more specific than that. John, Josh, and Gabriel were angry. That's being very specific. The growth mindset is an outlook. It's a mindset that says we believe we can learn by making mistakes, that mistakes are not harmful, that mistakes actually help us to grow, and by trying and working hard and persevering, we can grow more intelligent. And this has been proven to be the case. So your intelligence can change by exercising your brain and getting a lot of practice. That's the growth mindset. Safe. This is another one of our Griffith Way expectations. Be safe. That means not getting hurt and definitely not hurting other people. Mature means acting your age or acting actually like an older person. You might hear she's very mature for her age. That means she's acting like someone who's older. As we grow, we want to mature. Elaborate. Part of our racers is explain, extend, elaborate. So if you're going to elaborate on something, that means add details. Then we have the adjective elaborate. So he wore a ring that was very elaborate, and it comes from elaborate. Usually we're going to use it as a verb. Priority. It's the one most important thing. When you're taking the SBAC, your priority is to take the SBAC. When you're out at recess, it's probably not time to read a book. It's probably time to play and enjoy those things at recess. When it's breakfast, the priority is eating food, because 2 hours later, it's not time for breakfast. That's what a priority is. So you always want to ask yourself, what is the priority right now? And your teacher is definitely doing that as well. Thank you.